The state of Missouri is honoring fallen St. Louis firefighter Ben Polson. Polson was killed while fighting a fire in North City, in a North City building, in January of 2022. His mother, Sue, was presented the Missouri Public Safety's Red, White, and Blue Heart Award. The award recognizes Polson's service and sacrifice to the job. The state also held a memorial service in Kingdom City to honor and add the names of 8 fallen firefighters to the Wall of Honor. Polson's name is now on that memorial.